Welcome back to the GenZone YouTube channel. Of course, on this channel, we go over taxes, relocation, Dubai, everything, banking, you know it. And today, I'm here with Mr. Matt Webley from the UK, who just recently moved here. He's an entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience, which is crazy. And you have over 10 UK limited companies.
Yeah.
So pretty good, 8-figure entrepreneur. This is going to be a really valuable interview for you guys. He has a lot of information about his own process to relocate to Dubai because he just moved here 2 months ago. So get it from his mouth because it's fresh. He knows exactly what just happened because he just went through it. So in this video, we're going to be going over everything. If you do enjoy it, make sure to subscribe. And he has his own YouTube channel as well that you can find in the description down below. It's called Matthew Webley.
It's just Matt
Webley.
Yeah,
there you go. You guys can go and subscribe to that as well.
Yeah. So I think the best way to get started, Kevin, is I'm going to ask you, I'm going to try and put myself in the perspective of somebody brand new, thinking about moving to Dubai, that is already frustrated with the West, frustrated with all the things I just mentioned, and try and ask you questions that would matter to them. And hopefully we'll go down a few rabbit holes and people will get some nuggets of value from it. So when I moved to Dubai, I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't know who to trust. I think that's a major problem because there's so many providers doing what you guys do, but I've heard about these really horrible contracts with small print that tie you into recurring fees year after year and just make it a really messy, difficult process. So I ended up going direct to free zone myself.
Yeah.
But that comes with its own set of difficulties and I would say a very steep learning curve. I got through it. I'm here at the end of the day. But there's a lot of unknowns and a lot of figuring things out. And if I'd have had somebody like you to just lean on it and ask questions to, I'd have really appreciated that. And it would have been really super helpful and worth whatever price you guys charge, which I'm not even sure exactly how much you charge. So from somebody that's watching this, that's thinking, look, I'm fed up of the UK, or I'm fed up of Europe, I'm fed up of Canada, wherever they're from, and they want to move, what is the overview of the process? What's a simplified version of the process that you will lead them through to make that process easier than it was for me?
Yeah, and I mean, I 100% agree with you. Even me, myself, of course, when I moved here, I didn't use an agency for the exact same reasons. I had no one to tell me, Kevin, use these guys, they'll take good care of you. If I did, I would have 1,000,000% done it because it would have saved me a lot of time and effort. I've spent over 200, 300, 400 hours doing research. You know, I had spent that time before setting up my company to set it up, and I still made mistakes, and I still made, you know, thousands of dollars of mistakes, which a consultant who does it properly will save you that money, time, and stress. So, you know, for a high-level overview, there's so many different companies you can set up here in the UAE, but it's really simplified into two categories: mainland companies and free zone companies. Mainland companies are for people with physical businesses that need to do physical business inside of the mainland. So one common misconception that I have from a lot of my clients is I have a consulting business, but I also have clients that live in Dubai. Can I do business with them with a free zone license? And if you go on Google and you write, can a free zone business do business in the mainland? The answer is no. But the reason why it's no is because it's physical business. You can't go and physically go and repair someone's house in the mainland with a free zone company. So the very first step is to determine what kind of company do I need. Do I need a physical business or a digital business? And then you can go from there. So free zone, digital, mainland, physical. Now, there are some other key considerations to keep in mind. With a mainland company, you also have significantly more expenses. So you also have to get an office, and you also, so the license costs, that's the same thing. The visa, that's basically the same thing, but you also have to pay for an office annually. So let's say the free zone license is 8.5K or 9K, let's say, and the mainland was the same. It'd be the same plus an office. And by the way, a lot of people are advertising virtual ijaris. This is a very popular thing. But with a mainland business, if you want to do it properly and not get fined, because actually our office just got inspected the other week to make sure it was real, you need to get a real office. And the real office is started around $15,000 per year for just like a, you know, small little place. So first step, determine what you need. So a consultant like us will tell you exactly what you need, what's cost effective, what isn't, what's the right fit for you, what isn't. And then based on that, then we'll proceed with the next step, which is to get you your license. So we'll just do the initial application. People ask me, Kevin, do I need to provide bank statements from my home country, tested documents, university degrees? No, literally just a passport copy, like a photo of your passport. That's all you need for your license issuance, and just fill out a really simple form that we'll give our clients. Once that's done, we apply for their entry visa. That entry visa allows them to come into Dubai, not as a tourist, but as, you know, an employee of a business. This is a key thing because you don't want to fly in as a tourist. If you do, there's an additional charge to pay when you're inside the country. It's around $450. So you can avoid that. And then once you're inside the country, we get our clients' medical and biometrics appointment done in about an hour and a half, same day.
Yep.
So once that's done, so we'll meet them at the appointment. We'll book it all for them. It'll all be done VVIP. And the same day, they'll have their residency as well. Once they have their residency, then within 2-3 business days, they'll get their Emirates ID, which, as you know, your Emirates ID is your national ID card. You use this you need it for everything.
I literally got asked for it on the way in this building. They're like, she want my Emirates ID, everything. Yeah.
Exactly. So you need this for everything in Dubai. You want to do business, you need it. You want to have a house, you need it. You want to get a car, you need it. Driver's license, you need it. So super key. Once you get that Emirates ID, then at that point, we tell our clients, okay, let's set up your bank accounts. We'll set them up with business accounts and personal accounts, guaranteed. So we have literally no rejections. We take care of everything for our clients. And then at that point, they're fully set up. If they need anything else like accounting support, we can provide that to them as well.
Okay, so an additional question, and I'm putting you on the spot because I don't know the answer to this. What about other stuff? You know, beyond that, obviously that stuff's important. Setting up your company, Emirates ID, and visas and all that stuff, and your bank account. That's kind of like the core of what you need. But what if people have got questions about, like, Kevin, how do I park in Dubai, or who's the best mobile phone provider? Do you do that, or is that beyond the scope?
No. So and this is something that I love to tell my clients. After the service is done, they're always like, "Hey, Kevin." I can even show you a text right now from one of my clients.
Yeah.
He told me, "Hey, Kevin, like if I have any questions, can I like message you? Is that okay?" And I'm like, "Of course it's okay."
Yeah.
Message the group. You have 5 people in the group, 5 team members. Message them. We will reply to you anytime.
Yeah.
So we are
About
always
basically anything.
They can ask me, "Kevin, where's the best place to buy steaks?" I will reply to you. Don't worry.
Nice.
If it's not me or one of my team members, we will reply to you. So yeah, we're always there for you because, to be honest, it's a big jump.
It is, and I
jump.
tell you what, that the value of that alone can't be overemphasized. Is that the right word? I don't know if underemphasized or what overemphasized. That the value of that, because when you move to Dubai, it's not just that core thing. That's the core thing to get you over here, able to live and work here and stuff, of course. But there's so many other little questions, and if you've got nobody over here that you can ask, it's a little bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. We always take care of that.
You know how a few agencies would do something like that? Almost none.
None, yeah, literally none. Once you pay, they're gone already. By the time, even sometimes they don't even provide the initial service you paid them for.
I genuinely wish I would have seen you guys before and came to you guys, because just having that alone would have made my transition easier. Okay, so another question that a lot of people are likely to have is tax. Specifically, maybe my viewers might be more UK based, but whether it's Europe or whatever, they've got to. A lot of them think they're only moving for tax, but the reality is they're moving for lifestyle and tax. But tax seems to be a big draw to the Dubai. And if the tax situation wasn't so great, which we should probably cover, let's just briefly cover it. I'll let you tell them what's the tax situation in Dubai.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty favorable right now. Yeah. Considering in around 4 weeks, you can totally change your tax situation.
Yeah.
Like the process takes 4 weeks. 1 week for the license, not even, like 2-3 days. 2-3 days for the e-visa, then you get your Emirates ID in 2-3 days, and then your bank account in 2-3 days, right? In under 4 weeks, you can totally change your life. From in the UK, it could be around 54% in tax, and then you have corporate tax, and then you have
corporate
VAT,
tax, VAT,
all this stuff,
income tax, didividend tax, national insurance. The list goes on.
It's no surprise that our clients normally come from the UK.
Really?
I don't think that's a surprise to you. So there's breaking news. So the way taxes are structured here are really good, but of course things will change in the future. I assume probably in the next 5 to 10 years, but for now it's very good. So a lot of people are just coming in quickly before maybe things change, and I'm just speculating now. But the way it works is right now we have 0% income tax. So no matter what salary you pay yourself, of course a reasonable salary will be taxed at a 0% rate, which is amazing.
So if you're running an online marketing company, one-man band, what would a reasonable salary be?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So before I go over the personal, let me start back up from the corporate, just so that it makes sense. So number one, corporate, we have 0 to 9% corporate taxes, depending on your income level.
Yeah.
So just to make it really, really simple for anyone to understand this, the way corporate taxes are determined to say, are you paying it or not, is like this. The first thing that the government will look at, so literally when you're filing your returns on the FTA portal, the Federal Tax Authority portal, the first thing they'll ask you is, what is your revenue? So if you told me your revenue was 2.5 million dirhams, then you don't have to pay any corporate taxes at all. And I'll tell you why. The way it works is If your revenue is above 3 million dirhams, so if it was 3,000,001 dirham.
Can we do the rough translation,
Yes.
conversion in prices?
So to USD,
currencies?
that would be 816,000 US dollars.
Right.
And GBP would be around 650.
Yeah.
Around 6
Yeah.
because the Forex market changes. Might even be less now.
Yeah.
So that's how it works.
Yeah.
So depending
so
on
0% tax up to 650,000
yeah, so
because of the small business relief.
because of that.
Yeah.
But this is how it works. So it's really, really good. So for example, let's just keep it in GBP, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
GBP?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
So let's say we keep it in GBP. If you made 650, right? No corporate tax. If you made 651, for example, let's say you do go over the 3 million dirhams. I don't know what the Forex market is right now,
Yeah.
but let's say you do go over the 3 million dirhams, then at that point, the government will say, okay, you don't have to pay taxes just yet, but I do have another question. And this next question will determine if you do have to pay any corporate taxes or not. And that next question is, what is your net income? Because the first question was, what was your revenue? Is it over 3 million dirhams, 650 GBP? If the answer is no, no corporate tax. If it's yes, I do have revenues above that, then they'll ask you what's your net income. And in this situation, the net income that they want to know is your net income above 375,000 dirhams or 102,000 USD or around 70,000 GBP, around this. If it is above that, then it's fine. The first amount, the first 375,000 dirhams or 70,000 GBP will still be tax-free. But anything above that will be taxed at a 9% corporate tax rate.
Yeah.
So basically, for most people, you'll never actually pay a 9%.
Yeah.
Because even if you're, a corporate tax company, you're still gonna pay tax, but it's only on like half or maybe like just a little bit, a small portion. So in the worst case, you're looking at it like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%. And keep in mind, right, to reduce your corporate taxes, what can you do? So let's say your net income was 400,000 dirhams. So you went over the threshold by 25,000 dirhams. So again, you can get 375 tax free, so 60,000 GBP tax free, let's say. And then anything over that is 9% corporate tax. Just pay yourself salaries and stuff like that to reduce it. Now, this is bringing me to your next question, which was, what's a reasonable salary?
Yeah.
If you look at any company around the world, the company shouldn't pay its owner, its shareholder, 100% as a salary. So I would say it's very case by case, but the best thing to do is just look at a general market of what people are getting paid. So let's say for you, a CEO of a company, the owner of the company, maybe something around 30,000 dirhams to 70,000 dirhams is reasonable per month, for example.
So let's try and do the
let's
conversion.
say like 10,000 GBP, 15,000 GBP, 20,000 GBP per month. That is reasonable.
Oh, as much as that?
Yeah, to me, that is reasonable.
What, so £250,000 a year?
Yeah, that's a reasonable salary.
A reasonable salary?
Yes.
Oh, well.
And then you can easily pay yourself. Yeah, exactly, right? So it's a reasonable salary. And of course,
so most people are going to fall in that. Most small business owners, they're not making millions. Some people might be watching this, great, but like most people are going to be 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand, something like that. So those people, the salary essentially swallows most of that.
Correct.
And the salary currently is 0%.
Correct, exactly.
And then after that, you've got the tax-free allowance on the corporate profit side.
Yeah.
And then it's only 9%. So actually, your effective tax rate over, say, £500,000, say, profit is tiny.
Yeah, so if you made £500,000 and exactly.
In fact, it'd be none.
You do $500,000 minus, let's say, $250,000. So let's say you're down to 250. From that 250, subtract the first tax-free allowance that the government gives you, 60,000. So let's say you're left with 190,000. Multiply that by 9%. That gives you this right here. So this is what you would pay in taxes, essentially, if you didn't have any other expenses, because maybe you can invest into other things into your business that can reduce it, right?
Yes,
you can always optimize.
Yeah, just like in the UK, a business owner in the UK knows that you've got allowable expenses.
Yes,
so if there's something wholly and entirely used for the business, I can't remember the exact HMRC term, but essentially you can make you reduce your corporate tax from that as well.
Exactly.
So essentially, I mean, I thought you'd probably get away with 100 grand a year salary, but if you're telling me you can get 200, 250 grand, which you probably can. I mean,
I don't see why not. Nice. And I mean, so there's no clear guidance on that either. If there was, then they would have done it. They would have given that guidance. But to be honest, it's case by case, right? So who are they to say this or that? But they could implement that later. Who knows?
Of course,
One more thing that I want to keep in mind, though, is because a lot of people ask me, okay, Kevin, let's say my revenue is not above 650,000 GBP, but my profit is, around the amount where you're, because for example, right, I told you, the 60,000 GBP threshold or 65, this is for your net income, right? What if your net income is above that, but your revenue is still below that threshold of 650? well, then in that case, it's still 0% tax. So as an example, let's say your revenue was 500,000 GBP. That was your revenue. Then even if you're above that 60,000 net income thing, you don't have any taxes because you didn't go above that 650,000 GBP.
Yeah. But if in full transparency, when's that running out?
Great question. Amazing question. So this is lasting until 2027. So we have all of this year, all of next year, and then 2027, who knows what's going to happen.
They might extend it.
They could extend it.
They could do anything.
It's up to them. Yeah, exactly. But I think that what will most likely happen is, depending on how fast, we keep growing as a country, they might implement it, but it's up to them. Do you want to slow down the growth of your economy? Who knows? It's up to them.
That might be why they've kept that
small business relief
card in their hand, because at the end of the day, implementing a corporate tax could have collapsed this place potentially. It's not. It's growing. People are still it's still great value to come to Dubai. Yeah. It's still probably the best value proposition in the world from a business owner's point of view, entrepreneurs. So it's but from Dubai's point of view, obviously they've got to keep the world happy that are worried about their tax base erosion, which have come chasing Dubai, and I think that's the pressure. It's not Dubai wanting to tax.
No,
I think they want to grow. They want to make it a compelling proposition to come to Dubai.
Yeah.
But it's like they've got to keep everyone happy. So that might be their way of saying, look, we'll not put a definite deadline on it. Or maybe they have put have they put a definite deadline?
Yeah, 2027. But here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, so
in 2027, they can say, oh, we're going to keep the small business relief going.
Yeah.
We can change this. We can change that. I think, like you said, maybe they're under pressure from other countries saying, hey, you need to do this because we're losing 6,500 millionaires from the UK annually and probably more this year. Yeah. Can you please, do something to stop taking our money? Yeah. This is maybe what's happening. But, to be honest, it's totally up to them. And even with this corporate tax, all of my clients were all in agreement that it's still the best place. Even if there was a 9% corporate tax, even on everything, it's still the best place to have your business registered. And, all my clients know that, yes, this is going to change probably, but it's still the best place for me to
But then even after that, if the small business relief goes away, there's still the 375,000 dirham allowance.
So that actually is a part of the small business relief.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would most likely also leave in the case where they did remove the small business
that's good.
relief.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but who knows? Again, I actually don't know because there's no.
I can't see them going from having a tax-free buffer to not having one.
But they might keep that. They might keep that where it's like, okay, you still have this tax-free buffer, but for the people who, for example, were making that 500,000 GBP in profit and revenue, for example.
Yeah.
Them now they don't benefit from this small business relief where it's totally tax free.
Yeah.
They're gonna still be taxed on the amounts above that small threshold. So
I don't want to make this super taxy. I imagine people appreciate the tax stuff.
For sure.
One last question on tax. VAT is 5% here.
Correct.
If you've set up somebody, let's say somebody like me that's come over, I'm a Western expat living in Dubai, selling predominantly to people in the West, online. I'm pretty sure I have to register for VAT at a certain threshold, but do I have to charge VAT to my customers? So my customer might be sat in the UK, purchase from me online, get some digital product, say, and then do I have to collect that?
Great question. So no, you don't have to. You do not have to charge them VAT, and you're not supposed to either. So some people, they're like, yeah, I'm still charging them VAT. You're not allowed to charge them VAT. No. So any good or service that's exported outside of the UAE is 0 rated. So you don't charge anything. If it's within the UAE, for example, you're selling a program to someone inside the UAE, in that case, yes, 5% VAT must be charged. Otherwise, no.
But your turnover does go into the VAT registration threshold kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So even if you don't ever have to charge any VAT to anyone, if your turnover goes above 187,000 dirhams, which is around 40,000 GBP or 30,000 GBP, and at that point you need to, you can register, you don't have to. Once you go above 375,000 dirhams, which is around, let's say, 70,000 GBP, again, at that point, you have to register.
It's very similar to the UK in that way, the threshold.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. One of the things I really like about GenZone and you guys is there's a lot of mystery and fear surrounding the tax situation in Dubai because it's all new. It's almost like they don't even know how to properly, fully implement it. Like you say,
brand new.
It's brand new. So there's a lot of fear surrounding it, but you guys don't just offer business setup, relocation kind of services. You actually have tax accountants on. You told me that you got some guys employed from
PwC.
PwC.
Yeah, so we've employed
PricewaterhouseCoopers, is that?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So big accountants.
Big time.
But like you have shared what you charge your clients. I'm not saying you need to on this, but you have shared what you charge your clients. And I was refreshingly surprised at how low that was.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that and make you go, oh,
I know.
up.
The accountants are telling me, please raise the prices.
Yeah.
They're telling me, but I'm like, no, let's just keep it at this price. So yeah, I mean, we do it in-house for our clients because again, like we don't want our clients to have a good experience with one thing and then a negative experience with something else. That's so critical too. So I can share right now. Our smallest package is at around 1,300 GBP per year,
which is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So
and does that include bookkeeping?
Yes, bookkeeping, accounting, compliance, and sorry, Mr. Accountant, but also like some unofficial tax advice. So if you ever need some advice, you can ask the accountant, and he will give you some information about your questions. I'm saying sorry because he gets spammed by the questions already.
Yeah. Well, one thing I figured out of 23 years in business in the UK is accountants and tax advisors are two different things. Yeah. You can go to your accountant and ask them a bunch of questions about tax advice, and they usually do give you some advice, but they are very different things. So I think what you're saying is, look, don't overload them with like, oh, what if I set up in Panama and do this?
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
not that.
Exactly.
But basic stuff like, can I claim for this? Can I?
Absolutely.
How much like that
this
kind of stuff is covered.
Absolutely. And if you do need a detailed tax plan, they can give it to you, but of course it's a different service on its own. Like they work for PwC where they used to advise huge companies. I won't name drop them, but big companies, not Coca-Cola, but on the level of like Coca-Cola and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So which we still consult, not them, but companies at that level.
Yeah.
So they can do that, but of course in the smallest package, no, that wouldn't be there.
That's huge. Honestly, that's huge. When you say smallest package, what does that mean? Is it limited by turnover? Is it limited by transactions?
So it's based on the transactions.
Yeah.
Turnover, I don't care if you're making $1 or $1 million. Or 100 million, same price. We're not going to be greedy and say, oh, we're going to charge you more because you're making more. I know people that do that.
Yeah, well, the accountants will be telling you should be. Yeah, that's how they charge back in the UK. But don't do that.
Yeah, no,
I love what you guys do.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair. Like, who cares if it's one more digit? You're not working any extra, right? No. We're doing it on a transaction basis. So 10 transactions per month. That's our smallest package. And then our bigger packages go from 10 to 30 to 30, etc. And then we have different tiers. So just how many transactions you have, that's how we'll charge you.
Yeah. Okay. No, well, I mean, that's going to be a massive relief for a lot of people. So some of the biggest fears, headaches, frustrations, mysteries around the relocation process, you deal with the company setup, so you can sell in the UAE. Well, you can sell from the UAE and pay low taxes. You deal with the visas, so you can live and work here. You deal with the Emirates IDs, which you need for everything. Yeah. And you deal with the setting up the banks, and you deal with the taxes. Yeah. That's literally
everything.
And then also you telling me that you can ask, oh, where's the best pizza place in downtown Dubai, and you can be like, try this one.
Yeah. That's a big thing because to be honest, I go to so many spots.
Yeah,
so
there you go. Expert pizza.
If you guys need a pizza consulting, no worries. But yeah, I mean, we take care of everything. Actually, one more thing that we just started doing is holiday homes. So for our clients who want to rent a place, now we don't have to just suggest you, oh, this place is good. We're actually starting to manage units under our umbrella. So if we have a client who buys a property, we'll put it on a holiday home to rent to our own clients. Nice. So now we're giving this as an option. Like, okay, you're moving to Dubai, you want to have a good place. Yeah. Okay, we have good places available that are actually quality. You don't walk in and there's roaches on the floor or something like that, right? Yeah. That's happened to me too. That's happened to me too.
We found this huge cockroach in a hotel once in Dubai, and we got the people that run the hotel up to kill it. I don't think he could kill it. It was like unkillable. Okay, no, I mean that's huge. Like, even I'm sat here going, why can't I rewind a year and just go with you? Yeah. Because like I can't emphasize it enough to people watching this. I did it myself, just like you did it yourself. Yes. But there's a learning curve, which you and I have both gone, well, we've put all this time and effort into learning this. We should probably monetize this. And you literally have monetized it. And I would say you taken over the game. Like, as far as I'm concerned, there's nobody else I currently know that I would trust with this process other than you guys, having done it myself. But it's like, I kind of reached out to you because I was on the cusp of helping people do it myself. But I was going to help them go direct. But it's like, my Mrs. Holly, she was like, Matt, you hated this process. You literally hated every second of this process, just doing it for yourself. And you're going to do it for others?
Yeah.
It's like, she really made me think. I'm like, I'm going to reach out to these guys and chat to them and stuff. Because honestly, you can go direct. And if you're watching this and you want to go direct, you want that pain I suffered, go for it. But I've decided not to help people do that. But I still want people to get help that watch my channel. And I want to be able to send somebody to you to deal with the pain that I had to deal with and frustrations. So no, that's awesome. You've also gone into the real estate side of things, not just the holiday homes. Like if somebody wants to buy a property,
absolutely.
Is it just off plan or secondary market?
We help with everything: ready properties, off plan properties. Each month we sell a ton of. We help sell a ton of properties.
Yeah.
And I mean that's something that we do for sure. So if you need to buy a villa, a townhouse, whatever, we can help you. And the more important thing is, and this is something that I like to be transparent about, we don't need to make money in commissions. Yeah. Like, of course, it's great as a real estate agent, you make money in commissions, but we don't need to, in the sense where if I don't get the commission, I'm not starving.
Yeah.
In this market, it's a totally different situation. I have so many people lying to my clients saying, oh yeah, you're going to get this if you do this or this or this, or it's going to happen like this. And my clients are like, hey, it sounds too good to be true. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it is too good to be true. Even my client yesterday, he's buying an off-plan property. The broker told him, just set up a company and send all the revenues to this company from your rental. And then at that point, it'll be tax-free, even if you're in the UK, which is obviously totally false, right? If you're living in the UK, that's not going to work. But this is how it works. And also, past tax stuff, because I'm stuck in tax land. Yeah. But, just like, is this property actually a good investment? Is this actually a good area? Yeah. Are you actually getting a good price? These are things that we help people determine. Yeah. And I will never sell anything to anyone unless it's something I would buy myself. Yeah,
which is how it should be if you want a long-term business and good reputation. So taking a couple of steps back, one of the biggest things that stopped me using an agent, not only did I not know who to trust, was the contracts. So I think I'm right. In our initial conversations when we spoke, you said you don't charge a fee like a year in.
Correct.
A lot of agencies go, oh, you're going to pay us £1,000 or £2,000 again or whatever.
Crazy.
You don't do that. Explain what's your contract look like? What's your terms? What's the small print in yours?
So it's pretty complicated. Just kidding. Literally no small. We don't even have a contract. Yeah. I know it might sound crazy. Like people say, oh, Kevin, you should have a contract just to protect yourself from the client not paying you. Yeah. We don't even have contracts. Yeah. So if you want to leave in the future, absolutely be my guest. Go ahead. Yeah. We don't even next year. We won't even charge you anything anyway. There's no reason for you.
So there's no
to leave.
No the recurring fee.
Not with us. We charge just the government price. So whatever you're paying because you did it alone. And by the way, we can manage it for you too. We can actually switch it under us and we can do everything for you. Okay. But like anything free. So if they want to get their amendments done, this done, whatever, we'll do it free. Just pay the government price. Yeah. So we charge an upfront fee. Yeah. Right now it's 2,500 USD, so around 2,000 GBP, around 1,800 GBP or whatever.
Which is worth every penny.
Yeah,
if people understood the pain, frustrating, steep learning curve that I've gone through, I would pay that. I don't want to say I'd pay 10 times more. I wouldn't. I've seen people get quoted.
Yeah, of course.
I've seen people get quoted.
Even the guy from yesterday that you mentioned.
18 grand. Yeah. I know that some people online charge 25 grand, but that's more holistic. I think that's a little bit more.
No, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing.
Really? That's pounds, 25 grand pounds.
Yeah, they'll charge 25,000 pounds.
Dollars, not dollars.
Dollars, pounds, whatever. I've seen people even charge $80,000 for the exact same thing, and that's the holistic approach. I don't want to say anything, but yeah, I mean, you'll see crazy prices online. We are so fair. My clients after the calls, not after the calls, but after the process is done, they tell me, Kevin, you should be charging more money. Yeah. But I'm like, I feel super happy charging this. I feel generous charging it, to be honest, and I feel like everyone is well taken care of. We're making money. They're happy. We don't need to charge more. Kind of like that.
It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer at that point for people to make that choice. When you say $2,500, that's what you said.
Yep. Yeah. Dollars. Yeah.
Well, we should make it clear that there's also going to be the free zone and government charges for this, like establishment card.
Absolutely.
I don't know if they charge extra for memorandum of association, but there's all these weird things that come into it. And so what's the fees for that?
So right now, because there is a government promotion, the total fee in GBP is around 6,000 GBP, around that, including our service fee.
So 6 grand.
Yes.
and they get the company,
Yes.
Emirates ID,
Yes.
bank account set up, visas.
Yes.
What is that? Multiple visas, or is it a little bit extra for more visas?
That would be one with one visa.
One visa,
And
yeah.
also a key thing that I want to mention, this is all VVIP processing too.
Yeah.
Because we do everything VVIP. License gets issued faster with us. E-visa is issued faster with us.
Yeah.
Your residency is issued faster with us. Your medical and biometrics appointments, we book it for you. We meet you there in person. We walk you through, go here, go here.
Which honestly, just that alone.
Just that alone. I remember even me myself. I was like, what the heck is going on? And we do that within an hour and a half. Almost nobody else on the market does that or can even do that because it's not even possible anymore, really.
Yeah.
Like everyone's VIP is our standard process. Like we do it the same day. They do it VIP medical one day, then biometrics 3-4 days later.
Yeah.
We do it all the same day.
Amazing.
And then banking, we do it for you. We do your application for you for your business and personal accounts. And if you even want more personal accounts with like Emirates NBD, which you mentioned,
Yeah,
you
well,
had
I'm
troubles
going to
with.
deep dive. That's my
Yes.
next question, actually. So I set up with WEO for
Yeah.
personal and company account, and it was relatively easy.
Yep.
I didn't manage to get a checkbook. So then because I didn't have a checkbook, and you might say, well, checkbooks are like 1999 or something, but over here you need, as you know, I'm just telling the viewers, but you need the checkbooks to rent apartments and stuff. So you pay them in checks.
Yeah.
So I needed a checkbook, and I didn't get one with WEO. I should have got one. I don't know why. Maybe it went to the Airbnb I was staying in when I set it up. I don't know. But I couldn't get the checkbook, and then they wouldn't let me reorder a second checkbook. I know, because they're very protective over the checkbooks over here. They're like,
Weird.
Within 6
That's
months.
really
or
weird
something.
because they should not deliver it without you collecting
Well,
it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The point is, I never got it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they delivered it, if they didn't deliver it.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. I just know I didn't get it, and then I was struggling to get one. So I went to Emirates NBD, which is like almost like a real
Proper bank.
proper bank.
Yeah, big bank.
WEO's a proper bank.
It's a great bank
WEO's
too.
Amazing.
I have clients who have millions of dollars in there.
Yeah. Well, I've got a chunk of change in there, not millions, but I've got a chunk of change in WEO. The interest rates are really good.
Amazing, yeah.
The Emirates NBD process for me was extremely painful. I went and I got given a sheet of paper with a list that looked like somebody had just knocked it up.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
know that list.
Yeah, it's like, what is this? Like, it didn't look like it was on official paper. It was just a mess. And I was like, and then this guy that was, I don't know if he was a receptionist or what, he's like, you need this, this, and this. He's ticking stuff. You don't need that. So I came back the next day with the stuff on the list, thinking, there you go, I'm ready.
There you go.
Bear
That's
in
all you
mind, just that was a painful process because, no, it wasn't at that stage. The next stage was more painful. So I went back. They then sent me to see a different person at the same branch, and they're like, no, you need this, 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 and this. A different bunch of stuff. I'm like, well, I got told I needed, no, you need this stuff. So it feels a very subjective process, almost like there's a human being,
Yes.
they're making a decision rather than just do this, this,
Yes.
and this, which made it really difficult. And then an extra complication was he insisted I had it printed out. I'm like, well, I'm staying here in an Airbnb. I don't have a printer. So it's like, well, there's a shop down there, up these stairs, and so I ended up finding this weird little shop. There was an Indian guy in there that barely spoke good English. I'm having to WhatsApp him loads of documents. And
Sensitive documents.
Sensitive documents, and emailing sensitive documents that probably still sat in his computer.
Yeah.
And I paid him something like £25, £30, something like that for printing all this
Jeez.
stuff. And then I went back, and the process was painful, frustrating, never-ending. And I feel like as much as you've painted a picture of such a smooth process, which it should be for people.
It should be, yes.
I didn't feel that. Every step of the way, banking, problem.
Yeah.
This, problem. Emirates ID, problem. Just problem. You don't have a phone number yet, so you can't do this. You don't have an address yet, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
But you can't get your Emirates ID without this. So it's like a tangled web of a nightmare.
Yeah.
And you guys solved that.
That's exactly why people work with it. Like literally, you're describing what it's like to move to Dubai on your own.
Yes.
With us, it's like, wait, no, you can't do this. Please do this, then do this. Then like we have the exact thing that you have to do so that you have no issues.
Yeah.
And like you check our Google reviews, right? Anyone could go leave a review.
Amazing.
Everyone is saying, oh, it was such a smooth process, no hassle, because we make it not a hassle. If you don't have the right process, it's going to be an issue. For example, with your Emirates NBD, I could have literally booked you in, just sent a few key documents that I already had. You wouldn't need to even print anything. And you wouldn't even need to bring anything but your Emirates ID and passport. That's it. And within 30 minutes, your account would have been opened, credit card issued, debit card issued, and shipped to you within 2 days. That's it. 30-minute meeting.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Take my money. Revert. give me a time machine.
Sorry.
Let me go back a year and a bit.
Yeah.
I stayed in the UK to have a baby, so I did the setup a while back. So I've only lived in Dubai for just over 2 months now. But like the setup process was done over a year ago, and I've still got PTSD from that process.
Even from my own process, I remember trying to get my business bank account. This was before WEO came around. Yeah. And even by the way, with WEO, there's still some tricky things you need to do properly to make sure you don't get rejected. Yeah. But I remember I went to the same bank like 4 different times just because the banker needed new information or the signature just wasn't perfect.
So the same.
You too.
Yeah.
Just, the signature is a little bit different. Like, please, blah, blah. And I'm like, come on, like, really? Yeah. Like, really? And if you have the right contacts, they'll just let it slide through because they know that it's you. You did it properly. They have the information. It's good. No problem. So, yeah, I mean, like, so many things you could have saved your time. I swear, just an Airbnb cost of going here and staying here for time that I didn't need to be here.
Yeah, I did the same.
I spent over $10,000 in Airbnb costs just staying here. Yeah. Also, the government free zone that I worked with also told me things like, oh, you should come here at this time. And then I came here at this time, and they're like, oh, you shouldn't have come here yet, actually. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean I'm here? Amazing. They're like, oh, we need to apply for this first. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm here? And it was insane. Coming from Canada, especially. It's even further than the UK.
So Canada, I mean, it's probably a fun tangent, but I'm just interested personally. I know that US citizens don't get a tax advantage by moving to Dubai because they have to renounce their citizenship.
So they do get some small benefits, actually. Okay. They get 127,000 USD tax-free.
Oh, okay.
So it's not bad. That's a lot of money. Right. That's plenty. That's right. So even if they do get taxed after, it's only on a federal level as well because they're not living in any state. So they're getting charged federal tax on whatever amount they make. So if they made 120 Gs, no tax. If they made, let's say, 150, then 150 minus the tax-free amount, taxed at their federal rate, which is like 20%, 15%.
So I do hear of Americans moving here.
Absolutely.
And I always wonder, like, why have you bothered?
Yeah.
Unless they've renounced. But by the sounds of it,
there makes sense.
Unless you're a super ultra high earner, and then presumably you're trapped by the US tax net a little bit. But Canada's like the UK. You kind of tax where you live.
Yeah, so it's exactly like the UK, but the UK is actually more favorable right now. And I'm going to be very clear right now because in Canada, which it's coming soon to the UK, if you're there, you have assets there, you have money there, it's going to happen. And mark my words, we're going to clip this and you're going to see this and be like, oh, Kevin was right. When you leave Canada and you have any assets, you have to pay an exit tax on all of your assets, even if you do not sell them. If your property went up in value, if your crypto went up in value.
What percentage is it, roughly? Do you know?
It's a tax at our normal tax rate. So whatever your tax rate is, they'll tax you at that.
What? So you've got a property or a business or something in Canada, and you leave.
Yes.
You get taxed. What, tens of percents, whatever that is, 20%, 30%.
Let's say on average. So the way it works is, let's say you have. Okay, let's just make it simple. Let's say you had stocks. Your stocks went up by $100,000.
Yeah.
All right, and you want to leave Canada now. The government will take your $100,000.
So the capital gain.
Correct. The capital gains amount.
Yeah.
And they'll tax you at your tax rate on that amount.
Even if you've not sold them. So you've not liquidated the assets. You've still got them.
Yes.
But you've got to find the tax.
Yes. So now how are you going to pay this?
So that's a Canada thing right now?
Yeah. It's always been like this in Canada. And it's going to happen to the UK. Because right now, I have clients, they're laughing. They're like, Kevin, I'm from the UK. Yeah. I have all this money. I'm just going to leave the UK, pay no tax, and I will not come back to the UK. Like, you can travel back, but I will not return back to the UK as a tax resident for the next 5 years. Yeah. And I have no taxes to pay. Because if you move to Dubai, you save taxes for 3 years, and then you go back to the UK, you might be liable to pay some taxes on these things. If you don't, for 5 years, you're good.
Temporary non-residency rules.
Correct.
I think that's what they call it. So you're suggesting that there's going to be some kind of wealth tax, exit tax coming to the UK?
1,000,000,000%.
Yeah.
If the UK
Labour, this government.
If the UK does not impose an exit tax, meaning if they don't tax you on all of your money before you leave the UK, within the next 5 years, my mind will be blown.
Yeah.
Because it will happen. If I was them, I would do it. Why would I not do it?
Yeah.
So many millionaires are leaving. Why would I not do it? I can't just say, oh, please, UAE, increase your tax, blah, blah, blah. You have to take it into your own hands and do it. So they will do that,
If you become a tax resident here, so in my situation, I'm not quite tax resident yet. I'm still going through that process. Maybe I've got a little bit longer to wait. I'm waiting for the 6 months. Is it 6 months for the slam dunk, you're a tax resident here? Is that right?
So, after 90 days, you get domestic tax residency. But depending on your case, you might need the 6 month.
Yeah.
So if you have like assets, family in the UK, these kind of things, then in that case, 6 months would be more ideal. So spending 6 months in the UAE.
It's like a slam dunk. The 6 months.
Yeah.
If you spend 6 months in the UAE, you're essentially classed as a tax resident with no arguments then. Is that
Yeah,
right?
at that point, you're very solidified.
Yeah.
That being said, though, again, for most of my, like 99% of my clients, because they're usually solopreneurs or they move with their significant other, kids or whatever, in that case, 90 days throughout the year here in the UAE, it doesn't have to be at once. It can be 1 month here, 1 month there, 1 month there.
Yeah.
That is enough for them.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why people get confused. Oh, do I have to say 6 months?
Yeah.
Maybe. But
yeah.
most of the time, just 90 days is required. And another thing to keep in mind is you don't have to provide any document to the UK showing them you're a tax resident here unless they request it through an audit or something like this.
Okay. So essentially me moving and starting this process, and I've done it before a tax year because I know this, we won't go into it because I don't want to make this super tax, but statutory...
split tax years.
SRT, split tax, oh God, just that alone. Just like, but it's like, so essentially me being here now, being actually physically resident here, and with the intention of getting tax residency as soon as I can, that would mean that the exit taxes as they apply to Canadian citizens, that wouldn't apply to me if it was used the same. Is that right?
Yeah. So
I'm basically out. I'm good.
Yeah. You don't have any exit tax for now, so you're totally.
No,
good.
I know we don't in the UK yet, but if they bring it in and it was the same as Canada's, would I be safe at this stage?
Great question. So this is how it works, and actually a lot of my clients ask me this. They ask me, Kevin, okay, I'm gonna move to Dubai. I'm gonna spend the 90 days. But while I'm completing my initial 90 days, am I a tax resident? Technically, no. However, once you spend your 90 days, your previous 90 days are retroactively included into your tax residency. Okay. So, for example, let's say you stay here January, February, right? And then you go somewhere else. And then you come back after a few months and you spend another month. Once you spend your 90 days, then January and February are now tax resident years for you as well, or months for you as well.
Yeah.
So the way it works here is, no, you don't have to apply for a tax residency certificate. However, if you did, just to give you a visual of how taxes work, you can apply for any 12-month period that you want. So let's say you move to Dubai in January, and by December you apply for it, then you'll have a certificate from January to December, as an example. So it's any 12-month period you want. You can even do, let's say, June to June or whatever, right? Any period you want.
Yeah. Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
So let's try and get away from tax. As much as I could ask you, I could ask you tax questions all the time. What were your biggest reasons for moving to Dubai then? What? And tell me a little bit about you, because I'm actually interested. I wanted to load the value to the front of this.
Yeah.
Because I figured if I just went into your background, people would be like, well, I don't know who he is.
True.
What's in it for me to even listen?
True.
But I'm actually interested in Kevin.
Thank you.
So tell me what got you here and why did you move? What were your reasons?
So to be honest with you, back in Canada, of course, taxes are terrible.
Yeah.
This is my main driving factor. How did I get to the point where taxes did even impact me? Because for most people, taxes are not a huge deal. Of course, they don't like paying it, but it's not to the point where you're going to leave your family in your home country to avoid, right? Yeah. So initially, I was working various jobs. I was working with the government. I was working actually with the tax agency in Canada, which is called the CRA, which is like the HMRC.
So you worked for you were the tax man.
Yeah. Nice. I was looking at your returns, making sure you weren't.
No wonder you've got. I was worried about asking you tax questions because I thought, well, you're not an accountant, but here you are telling me you used to work for the tax people.
I used to work there,
right,
so
that makes sense.
I know pretty much everything, and so I was working there, and then after that, I quit that job and I worked as a financial advisor.
Okay.
And that was my last job.
Again, finance, money, which is why you totally handled all those questions really well. I was impressed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fun fact, I think I was actually one of the youngest financial advisors in Canada at that point.
How old are you now, by the way? Because you look very young.
Yeah, I'm turning 25 in August.
Amazing.
So
amazing. What you guys have done. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
What about your business partner, Cheyenne? Have I said his name right?
Yes, Cheyenne,
How old Cheyenne?
Same thing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wow.
so...
Young business owners, amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So...
Amazing.
And the way we got to the point, so obviously I didn't care about taxes as a financial advisor. I was making maybe like a regular 65,000 Canadian dollars, which is like 40,000 GBP. This is like a normal salary. Taxes are not a huge deal.
Yeah.
But then after we started our marketing agency, we just wanted to give it a go, and it went amazing. For the next 2 years, we ran that business. It was very successful. We were an influencer marketing agency. Yeah. It did really well. And then I was telling Cheyenne, listen, we're getting taxed 6 figures annually. It doesn't make sense to live here anymore. And I had to kind of convince him. And I understand whenever I see my clients and their business partners and one of them wants to do it, the other one is like iffy. I put myself in their shoes. But once we made the move, it was the best decision we ever made in our lives. Not just for taxes, but just, personal growth. Yeah. It was the best decision. Like I tell people this all the time. Even if there was no tax benefits of moving to Dubai, I would still do it because the opportunities here.
That's how I feel. Not just opportunities. That I genuinely feel like that.
Yeah.
Like I wish I'd have done it sooner.
Yeah.
But sorry, go on.
No, that's the thing. Like everyone, they come here for tax initially, weather, whatever, and safety, but they stay for the personal growth, the lifestyle that you can have here, and that you can create here too. And obviously, we did the move for ourselves initially, and we did not start this business until around a year and a half after. So GenZone used to be another company. We changed the name essentially, and we were just helping people because just like yourself, you're getting people reaching out to you. I had personal friends reaching out to me, people I was networking with that were just flying in from other countries asking me, Kevin, how did you register? And I didn't feel comfortable referring anyone because I'm the type of person that if I don't genuinely like someone's service, I cannot refer it because I don't want you coming back and complaining to me. I'd rather just tell you, no, I can't help you. Sorry. So
well, that's the worst thing about being. I don't want to call myself an influencer because with 2,000 subs on my channel, I wouldn't be considered one. But I've had audiences and communities in the tens of thousands in the past. So, and one of the I'm not sure what the right term is, but one of the I don't know if it's upsides or downsides is people start to trust your opinion and they ask you for your opinion based on things you don't know. So they're like, oh, can I trust this guru, this Lambo driving guru? I don't know. Like other people bash them, but I don't know. I've not experienced them, so how can I comment on that? The difference here is I've been watching you guys for a while now.
Long time.
Obviously not long enough because if I'd have known about you 2 years ago, maybe I would have just done it. I would have just done it with you guys for sure. But like I've been watching you guys. Nobody's got a bad word to say about you.
Nobody.
No, I touch wood.
Yeah.
Nobody's got a bad word to say about you. Your Google reviews are amazing. All of my fears that I had that stopped me using a provider, you guys have dealt with. You know, like you said we've not even got contracts. Like we don't charge a renewal fee. All of these things are the things that would have stopped me. And then the upsides that you talk about, like accountants, which are relatively low priced, like
for chartered accountants,
without the problems I had. Visas, the setup, like. For me, it's a no-brainer. It's an absolute no-brainer. So you moved primarily for taxes because you thought I could have bought a house with that tax bill.
Yeah, it was crazy. We paid I think around each $100,000, and that was just because we made the move very quickly.
Yeah.
Right when we started making money, I was like, okay, let's get out of here. I was telling my business partner Shan, I'm like, I don't care where I go. Put me in a shoebox. I don't care. I just want to stop paying taxes because this money...
You ended up in a nice shoebox.
Yeah, I ended up in a good shoebox.
Yeah.
But the thing is, initially, Dubai wasn't even on the radar. I was looking at the Cayman Islands, Bahamas. I was looking at other countries, Paraguay, etc. And I realized the best place is Dubai. I did the research on every place. I probably spent just on like looking at places, 200 hours just on that, just to try to find the right place. Yeah. And that's why we only offer Dubai because genuinely, I think Dubai is the only place you should go to.
Absolutely.
There's so many other places. They're like, Kevin, can you help me with this place? And I'm like, no, I don't want to help. I don't like that. I don't like this place.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone has their own situation and their own case, so maybe it's a better fit for them. But that percentage is very small. I think that everyone can just come to Dubai instead.
Well, I've been in business over 20 years, which is crazy. I've been in business your whole life, which is nuts. It makes me feel like such a boomer. The tax bill and the tax burden I've suffered by staying in the UK has actually at times removed all motivation for me to push my business. Yeah. So it's forced me into a comfort zone whereby I'm like, well, I'm making enough. And like if I push harder and sacrifice more time and effort and investment to try and grow this, well, the tax man's just going to take 65% or whatever it is once it's done. I'm not just talking about income tax, but VAT, corporate tax, everything. It's like 65%. So I make £1 million more. Well, I get to keep 350,000.
Exactly.
That doesn't feel fair. Doesn't feel right. So it had the effect of in my 20s. So I was a young businessman like you. More in my late 20s, I took my foot off the gas. I stopped pushing, and I just stayed comfortable because. It wasn't just tax, but tax was a major factor of it. You've taken it by the bull by the horns and gone, what, I'm not doing that.
Hell no.
And now you're in Dubai, which is a hyper growth environment.
Yes.
That what you earn, you get to keep most of it.
Insane.
And you get better public services. You get better weather, I can only speak about the UK. No potholed roads, no fear of getting stabbed. A guy I was speaking to yesterday that's on about coming over to Dubai, super successful, and I've referred him to you, by the way. I've been like, you need to use GenZone.
Amazing.
Yeah, I don't think it's the right time for him to come over, but he was telling me a story about how him, who's a big guy, and this other big guy, they heard some noise downstairs or something. There was a guy trying to steal a motorbike, and this guy was 14 years old in central London, Canary Wharf. They challenged him. He pulled out a machete like that.
Jesus.
It's like, so hang on, he's an ultra successful guy, and he wants to move to Dubai. His missus don't want to move because she's never been yet. I told him, look, come in November. Come November for a holiday, and take her to all the spots. And if she don't want to move then, honestly, I don't know what will change her mind, because the only people that don't like Dubai are people that have never been, or people that can't afford it as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I've never had a client leave Dubai.
No.
I've only had a client leave Dubai because their business failed, for example.
Of course.
I've never had a client leave because they did not like the place. No. I've actually never had, and that's really rare, and that's a fun fact, because that's a lot of people. We've helped over 700 companies, but in those companies, there's tons of employees. So let's say 1,400, 1,500 people. Yeah. And nobody's left. That says a lot. That says a lot.
It says everything. But I know this. People watching this have never been to Dubai or not considered moving, won't truly know that what we're saying. We're not just making that up. Once you experience it, I call it a restorative peace. You come to Dubai and you get a restorative peace. Your soul is more peaceful. Yeah, you might be hustle bustle, you might be grinding, but like, you're not worried about getting your Rolex robbed. You're not worried about getting stabbed. You're not worried about home invasion. All of these things on a regular basis, random violence, like I worried about, and I came from a nice village in a nice city in the UK, and even I was like, every night I would like, what did I just hear? I was worried if someone's going to kick the door off.
Whenever I go back to Canada, I feel the same. Yeah. And it's crazy because Canada, UK, they should be safe places, but no.
They're not.
I wake up and I'm like, what's that noise? What's that noise? Yeah. Like, what's going on? Like, it's like, that's not normal. No. I come back to Dubai and I'm just so peaceful. I'm like, I hear the noise. I hear a big bang. I'm like, oh yeah, they're just doing construction.
Literally, like, I say to my missus when I'm going down to the gym in the tower, I'm like, shall I lock the door? And she's like, whatever. Like, my old motto, and what I encourage anyone in the UK is, like, doors are made to be unlocked when you go through them and locked again on the other side. And that's how I genuinely felt. In Dubai, I'm like, whatever. Like, reserved tables with whatever. I did a video of me, it's on my channel, of me putting my laptop on the beach and a MacBook Pro on the beach here, and it just stayed here. And
nobody cares. Like, they don't want to, because it's so safe. It's so safe.
Yeah. And you can't overemphasize to people that haven't experienced it, the peacefulness, because I think there's this weird perception that Dubai, you brush against the wrong person and you get locked up and beheaded.
No way.
Like, it's not a thing. It's peaceful. It's very tolerant of Westernizations. Like, you see some women walking around in shocking stuff in the malls, and they're okay. They don't get told off. They don't, like, it's a very peaceful place. You should be respectful of the culture and stuff, but like, it's a very peaceful and restorative place. Dubai's amazing. I wish I would have done it sooner. And honestly, I wish I'd have done it with you guys. I wish I'd have known what I know now.
Don't make me feel bad.
No, I wish I'd have known what I know now. The pain, the frustration, and honestly, having you guys help me through all that would have been epic.
Yeah.
So, which leads me on, because we're running up to the end of this, leads me on to, if somebody wants to set up, move to Dubai, whatever, get some of your services that you've talked about, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Best way is honestly just to book a call or go to our website. You can book a call there as well. It's free. Yeah. We have consultants from Canada and also consultants based here, also from Canada, who can speak with you and go over everything. Or you can even just send us a message on WhatsApp if you go onto our website, or of course, use the link that's literally down below this video and just book a call. It's super easy. It's down there. So
well, I'll add a little bonus into that. If you do use my link, Kevin's kindly offered to give me a little bit of kickback, but that doesn't come from what you it doesn't come from an extra payment you make. It comes
no added fee.
It comes from his profits. So it costs you nothing, but to make it an extra sweetener, I know you'll have access to Kevin's details and stuff, but I will meet you in Dubai if you sign up through GenZone and let me know using my link below. I'll meet you in Dubai if you want to. It's optional. You don't have to. But
you have to meet him. You have to meet.
We meet. I'm a 8-figure entrepreneur. Blah blah blah. Like we can talk business. We can talk AI investing. We can slag off the UK. We can do whatever you want to do. But I'll meet you in Dubai and we'll have a lunch or a coffee or something. And also, I'll give you my WhatsApp number, my personal number. So if you've got any questions for me, maybe you don't like Kevin's pizza recommendations and you want some of my pizza recommendations, trust me, you want to trust his. Then I'll also give you my WhatsApp. So you'll have access to me as well as a sweetener for using my link, which is me saying thank you for using my link and not going direct. But if you want to go direct, I'm good with that. Honestly, my goal for you is to avoid the pain that I suffered going through this process. And that's my main motivator. I don't want to do what Kevin does because, like my missus said, it's too painful. For me, it was too painful. Even if I systemized it and got staff and put processes in place, I still don't actually want to do it. I just want for you to not go through what I went through, the frustrating, steep learning curve and pain associated with it, to save a few quid. It's just not worth it when you think about it. And I was going to help people do it, but I don't want to help people do it when Kevin's doing it better than I could do it anyway. So I wholeheartedly, from what I've researched, understood, I've been watching the videos for ages, I've been talking to people that have used them, and I've heard nothing but good from them, and just listening to them resolve all the issues that I had in my mind, small print, weird contracts, tied in with, like, all of that stuff is not the case with these guys. And have you got a full English-speaking team?
Full, yeah, everyone. We hire Western people.
You said they're all Canadians, didn't you?
Yeah, so the consultants are Canadian. I'll even be in your group myself, of course. If you're booking through his, like, I'll be in the group myself for my co-founder Shan. But yeah, full English-speaking people, so you'll be able to communicate with us, no issues there.
Yeah, which in itself is worth its weight in gold, because you can maybe save a few quid going. Skateboard just fell over. It's all good. Don't worry. It's all good.
No, keep it natural.
Yeah, keep it natural.
Just
leave
skate
it
through
in.
now.
Editor, leave that in because that's great. I don't know if you heard it, but some electric skateboard or something just fell over.
It's fate.
Amazing.
It's fate.
Yeah, it's the ghost of Dubai saying, "Bring Habibi, come to Dubai."
No, that's fine.
Right. So anyway, use the link. Book a call if you want. Kevin's awesome. It's the first time I've met, but I love him already. I love what he does. Like I said, I've been following him for a while. Wholeheartedly trust him, recommend him, and I wish I'd have had them to go to like a year ago when I set up. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you got some value from this. If I didn't ask the best questions, my apologies. We freestyled. I wrote a bunch of questions, didn't use any of them, just my intro. And I just want to say a massive thank you to you for
my pleasure.
For joining me.
And I'm super happy to work with you and whoever books a call using the links. And of course, we'll take really good care of you guys. Like you mentioned, no fine prints. We don't have contracts locking you in. And that's a big thing that maybe you don't know if you're just initially in the stages, but companies will lock you in and you have to do everything through them. And that means paying all the costs you didn't know because they did not tell you.
And I'll add to that what you might not know. In the UK, if a contract's unfair, a judge could throw it out and say, no, that's unfair. That's it. It doesn't matter. In Dubai, it's a lot more, it's written down, you agreed to it, you signed it, so it is what it is. It's a lot more like that in Dubai. So you don't want to be signing contracts that are filled with stuff you don't understand, maybe in Arabic. You want to really understand what you're signing.
Yeah.
So,
like, realistically, you're not going to hire a lawyer to read over a contract to move to Dubai. Although maybe you should.
You probably should.
But you're not going to do it.
And that's the fear.
You know
that's what kept me away from doing it. But everything you say is music to my ears.
Exactly, yeah.
And why I can wholeheartedly recommend they go through your process. And if you have a crap experience, tell me and I'll stop recommending it.
He'll slap me.
I won't slap him. We're in Dubai, but Habibi, we don't do that in Dubai.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks so much. It's been
pleasure.
awesome. I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully you've enjoyed it too. And
yeah, it was a pleasure to be here. Of course, guys, we're looking forward to working with you. If you have any questions, comment them on his video right here.
Yes.
He'll answer them or I'll help him answer them, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll get you that sorted. And of course, free call. We'll speak to you guys there. Of course, if you want more videos about moving to Dubai, I think you post a few videos. Maybe there's a video you can recommend right here. Maybe there's something here.
I've been grinding, yeah. There'll be a video here or
there
here,
it is.
and it'll help you with the process if you're thinking about moving to Dubai. But honestly, the right thing to do after watching this, just book a call.
Yeah, save
the
your
guy
time.
knows his stuff. Don't watch my stuff. If you think about coming, book a call with them, but use my link and let's meet up. I would love to meet you. I really enjoy chatting to people, especially like-minded entrepreneurs that are fed up of the West, and so we can bitch and moan about the UK or wherever you're from. And yeah, just just be focusing on positive stuff.
Perfect. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.